All right, howdy students. So, last time in class we talked about Picasso's Guernica. We talked about a lot of things relative to the painting. We're talking about this time period 1937. We're talking about Picasso, we're talking about Spanish Civil War. We're talking about Francisco Franco siding with the Nazis during the Spanish Civil War and essentially allowing the Nazis to use their new technology, which was bringing them, and they were planning to get into World War II essentially, or start World War II. So Francisco Franco, what we talked about in class was he basically sided with the Nazis and allowed them to target a defenseless and non-military town called Guernica in northern Spain. This is also in the Basque country, which Francisco Franco was not getting along with and trying to get rid of. He didn't like the Basque people. So without going into too much detail about that, Guernica was bombed by the Germans, and no one really knew about it. We're talking pre-internet, we're talking no cell phones, no internet, we're talking regular newspapers, mail. This was a long time ago. So Picasso was living in Paris. He's an artist, as artists do, living in Paris at the time, and then kind of got roped into this cause as a proud Spaniard artist and someone who could have a voice. So he was already slated to do a piece or a mural for the World's Fair in Paris. As he got more involved politically, he got furious about what was going on in Spain and everything tied in with the Nazis. He starts to create this piece dedicated to the town of Guernica, and it depicts the events in his way, in Picasso's way, the events that happened in this town during those carpet bombings from the Nazis. So we are first going to draw the piece. You're going to draw this piece from the small versions I have in your sketchbook. So students typically take this and trace the perimeter around this piece so they have the same size. Then they divide this into different pieces. So, for example, I could fold, howdy, just come on back through. I could fold this area so I only see one area at a time, which makes it a whole lot easier to recreate here. So, the whole goal of this is for you to really get to know this painting and see the parts of it. Then you're also going to critique the painting, which means analyze, interpret, and judge. Some students kind of think the painting either looks funny or childlike or childish or created by a child. We'll talk about that also. So this will be your critique sheet. We've got analyze, interpret, and judge. And first create the drawing so you can really see what's part of it. We're moving towards doing a little more work with this painting and trying to get it to relate to modern issues also. So we're talking about World War II, and we're trying to prove that the painting still has relevance and that over time since World War II it has maintained relevance, political, social, artistic. So, drawing and critique. We will also be working in class this spring creating a life-size Guernica. It shows the dimensions here, which translate to about 12 feet by 25 feet. So our intro classes will be creating a life-size Guernica mural, which will mimic the size that Picasso created to give you an understanding of the scope of this piece, and then we'll talk about modern issues associated with it. So this is kind of the intro if you missed the in-class version. Thanks.